If you're trying to figure out which single-player games are actually worth getting excited about on Switch 2, I think this video is going to save you a lot of time. These 10 titles cover everything from dark RPGs and brutal survival to something set 65 million years in the future. Trust me, the list goes places you wouldn't expect. If you followed the Monster Hunter universe for as long as I have, you already know that the Stories series carved out its own special place by flipping the whole premise on its head. Instead of hunting these massive creatures, you bond with them, raise them, and fight side by side. And with Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, it genuinely feels like Capcom is pushing that idea to its most ambitious level yet. The story unfolds in a world shaken by mysterious events that threaten both humans and monsters alike, with a legendary phenomenon at its center, the birth of twin Rathalos, creatures that symbolize both hope and chaos. As a rider, you travel across vast regions, explore vibrant ecosystems, hatch and raise powerful monsties, and build deep connections with them as they grow stronger by your side. The game keeps the classic turn-based RPG combat system the series built its reputation on, but everything looks more cinematic and dynamic this time around, with battles that feel more strategic and visually impressive than ever before.
I'll see you soon, Father. Save the world. And it's my duty to pick up the torch and see it.
Okay, let's shift gears completely, because Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is basically Sega's full-throttle answer to the kart racing genre. And this game does not just borrow the formula, it goes completely wild with it. On the surface, it looks like a colorful arcade racer with Sonic and friends tearing through familiar tracks, but the real magic kicks in with the cross-world mechanic. Mid-race, a portal can open right in front of you and suddenly transport everyone into a completely different world, with a new track layout, fresh hazards, and new shortcuts to discover. It turns every single race into something unpredictable and chaotic in the best possible way. The roster is packed with familiar Sonic characters, each bringing their own vehicle and unique stats to the table. But where things really get interesting is the customization. You can modify your ride with dozens of parts, gadgets, and visual upgrades, building something that perfectly matches your playstyle, whether that's raw speed, tight handling, or aggressive boosting abilities.
None will stand in my way.
Here we go!
If you've been around gaming long enough, the name Legacy of Kain probably already does something to you. This series built its entire reputation on dark storytelling, unforgettable characters, and one of the most fascinating vampire universes ever crafted in gaming history. And now, Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered brings that legendary chapter back with a modern upgrade, giving both longtime fans and newcomers a chance to dive once again into the twisted world of Nosgoth. The story centers on the epic conflict between two iconic characters, Kain and Raziel, whose destinies are bound together in a tragic battle shaped by betrayal, prophecy, and the mysterious Wheel of Fate. What always made Defiance so special was that you could control both of them throughout the story. Kain is powerful and brutal, wielding devastating vampire abilities and the legendary Soul Reaver blade, while Raziel moves through both the material and spectral realms, solving puzzles and uncovering hidden paths that exist between dimensions.
The coin is still turning, Raziel. Now.
Created you, and to this function, you will.
This next one genuinely caught me off guard, and honestly, that's exactly the reason it earned a spot here. Dosa Divas. One Last Meal is one of those quirky indie RPGs that looks colorful and charming at first glance, but once you dig a little deeper, there's a surprisingly emotional story hiding underneath all that flavor. You follow two sisters, Samara and Amani, who reunite after years apart and set off on a strange and heartfelt journey across a vibrant world. Their mission goes well beyond adventure. It's about reconnecting with old friends, confronting a shared past, and fighting back against a dystopian fast food empire that has taken over society and replaced real cooking with corporate food systems. Yes, that is actually the premise, and it works. Combat plays out in turn-based RPG battles where food is both your weapon and your strategy, with different dishes triggering unique effects, exploiting enemy weaknesses, and creating wild status conditions mid-fight. Along the way, you explore colorful villages, meet eccentric characters, gather ingredients, and cook meals that help rebuild communities.
Cleaner meals. Packs a punch.
Underpar Golf Architect is one of those games where the moment someone explains the actual concept to you, your whole attitude toward it changes completely. Because this isn't just a sports game, you're not the one swinging the club here. You're the mastermind building the entire golf resort from the ground up. It starts with a piece of raw land, and from there you shape terrain, create fairways and greens, place lakes and rivers, and design holes that challenge even the most demanding players. Every hole has to feel fair, balanced, and genuinely interesting, which means you're constantly testing your own courses and refining them until they play exactly right. But designing the course is only half of it. You also run the entire club, constructing facilities like restaurants, pools, bars, and training centers to keep members happy, hiring staff, managing budgets, attracting wealthy VIP golfers, and organizing tournaments that bring real prestige to your resort. The deeper you go, the more it starts to feel like a full tycoon-style simulation, where every decision you make ripples outward and shapes the success or failure of everything you've built. If you're someone who loves relaxing life simulators and also has a soft spot for Disney, then Disney Dreamlight Valley is genuinely one of those games that feels like stepping inside a living, breathing Disney movie. The setup is simple but incredibly charming. You arrive in a mysterious valley where famous Disney and Pixar characters once lived together in peace. But something called the Forgetting has erased their memories and scattered them across the world. Your mission is to restore the valley, help each character remember who they are, and slowly rebuild this magical community piece by piece. What makes it so easy to lose hours in is the sheer variety of things you can do at any given moment. You decorate your house, design entire neighborhoods, cook meals from ingredients you gather yourself, go fishing, farm crops, mine rare materials, and work through story quests for characters like Mickey, Elsa, Wall-E, and dozens of other familiar faces. Every character you befriend has their own storyline, their own friendship progression, and unique rewards that unlock new areas of the valley.
This is a place where and feed is Dreamlight Valley.
This one is genuinely unlike anything else I've come across in a long time, and the premise alone is enough to stop you in your tracks. Glaciered takes place an almost incomprehensible 65 million years into the future, in an era where Earth has been consumed by a permanent ice age known as the Everwinter. The world above the oceans is completely frozen and lifeless, but deep beneath the surface, life has evolved in ways you would never expect. Birds, over millions of years, have transformed into a new intelligent underwater species called the Tuai. Strange creatures that combine traits of ancient dinosaurs and aquatic life. You play as one of these evolved beings, exploring a vast frozen ocean ecosystem while protecting your species from enemies that threaten to end the Everwinter and destroy the fragile balance keeping your world alive. Visually, the whole thing looks stunning, with glowing sea life, icy landscapes, and alien underwater ecosystems that feel both beautiful and deeply mysterious.
Full of mysteries that are waiting to be explored and defended.
As you swim through these to fell these foes.
Use experience gained from these battles.
Species descended from dinosaurs, endowed with the abilities needed to protect the Everwinter.
If you're drawn to survival games but want something darker and more punishing than your typical crafting sandbox, Nested Lands is one to watch closely. The game drops you into a bleak medieval world devastated by plague, famine, and violence, where civilization has essentially collapsed, and the survivors who remain are desperately trying to piece together some form of society while danger closes in from every direction. Rather than playing as a lone wanderer, you step into the role of a settlement leader. You begin with almost nothing, a small camp and a handful of survivors. And from there, you gather resources, craft tools, construct buildings, and slowly work to turn that fragile camp into a functioning village. Each survivor you rescue can be assigned a role, whether that's farming, crafting, defending the perimeter, or venturing out into the surrounding lands for supplies. but survival here earns that word. Bandits roam the countryside, brutal winters can wipe out your food stores overnight, and disease spreads fast if your village lacks proper medicine or sanitation.
Lord is law. Save and rule over the abandoned dark place.
Throws you into the vast wilderness of 13th century Mongolia, where you play as a courier rider making your way across enormous open landscapes on horseback. The concept reminds a lot of players of something like Death Stranding, except instead of futuristic technology and post-apocalyptic infrastructure, everything here revolves around horses, survival, and the brutal beauty of the natural world. Your purpose in this world is to deliver messages and supplies between distant settlements scattered across the Mongolian steppe, and while that might sound deceptively simple, the journey itself is the real game. The world is vast and completely untamed, filled with mountains, deserts, snowy plains, and dangerous wildlife. Before every trip, you need to plan your route carefully, choose the right horse for the terrain ahead, balance your equipment properly on the saddle, and prepare food and tools for both yourself and your mount. I'll be honest, when I first heard the concept behind Ratten Reich, I didn't quite know what to make of it. But that's also exactly why it stuck with me. This is a real-time strategy game set in a strange diesel-punk world where the armies aren't humans at all, but anthropomorphic animals. Rats, mice, cockroaches, and other creatures locked in a brutal global war. Picture the atmosphere of World War I, blend it with steampunk technology and a dark alternate history, and then hand the whole thing over to entire civilizations of animal factions. The gameplay focuses on tactical battlefield control, where positioning, terrain, and unit management are everything. You command squads of soldiers, armored vehicles, and artillery across grim battlefields inspired by early 20th century warfare. And this is not a fast arcade-style strategy game. It rewards careful thinking, punishes poor positioning, and makes resource management genuinely feel like life and death. What really elevates it, though, is the world building.